Yaba hunyina achi yema ho akwaba efa emra bedwem so on Adom TV live on DSTV channel 280 Go TV channel 119 Multi TV degi box on no o share live and so ho the meden dia kwesi esia ena yankasa eripa Kofi AJ Kaso Commando the birthday so Kofi happy birthday enko emfa emma adwuma wo bo eso dodo say Kaso de say sina Kofi AJ ama ho de news Kofi AJ of Adom News happy birthday enko emfa emma obejafo atena say Dr. Same Aye a government spokesperson, special assistant to the Minister of Government Communications, a medical doctor by profession. Lawyer Kwesi Botwe, as a member of the NPP National Communications Team. A lawyer by profession, a writer by hobby. Dr. Boko there.
Minia.
I don't consulting room.
Oh, be patch. Na bomb to say.
Ya bi ado.
Yes, on kakra.
Dr. Same Aye.
Oba di kukra mu.
We too much. Abemu to say.
Ekoye.
Fikese boko.
Kakra niema ekoye. Kakra wa say de niema egu akwa mu. Mejidi say hwie be emra Ghana for ebebu nkompo ahwe o masetenem in the last 8 years. Na omode toto ena one can only agree say aba dodo na to santene kwoto ye ejina awie mu ekoto ye efri omonyuma mu ekoto ye ebi mpa na omoda yaresabia fa omoniema ekoto waba ebi tu kwan from echiche ne benchaye ekoto santene biom to waba no Ghana for na enemy be ya adwen se aba na anyekwa aba omoto ya eden sacha ye bebre aba omabrabo eno na me read news we mo sister we joy news or say May 2025 inflation drops to 18.4 from 21.2% in April. When we say you buy gradually all the indicators let's say aban papa eden aba ye buy fuel na ye tono 72 cedis per gallon enkane before 2016 na 1 liter of fuel 4 cedis. Unfortunately in 8 years it cost 16 cedis per liter. Ye buy aban papa ba asamba 12 cedis per liter. Into now auto 1 gallon 72 Ghana cedis under MPP ene auto 1 gallon 12 Ghana cedis baby cry 11.9 Ghana cedis under an NDC regime.
1 gallon how can you?
No, make you can't say a liter.
Okay.
A liter. And per liter no. You buy no na 16 cedis and ne 12 cedis baby 11.9 11.8 Ghana cedis per liter. Into that 1 gallon no 72 Ghana cedis and ne 53 Ghana cedis. Into auto 1 gallon auto 10 gallons sir. President Mama mamu papa wabunti was save 200 Ghana cedis. Ebin sida. In the last 8 years, MPP for better kudam. Until we share all the indicators, nema boa ebeba from major shopping, office centers in this country. Oma announce omo reduction in omo prices. And we na Ghana for etwaba. Timejidi ye say nkakra ye nuye, but ye beduo. Areshemu a eni gidi a Ghana for nyina enya wo NDC aban no. I am of the candid view say the NDC government under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama in Diomoshamo.
Okay. Was it?
Yeah. I'm from Boko.
Adom.
Yes. Yeah. Me too can ache. Yeah, and Opedia, you befa konya iso achia inuanom kramofo a omudi salania His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say ochi obi bia na me fa nchia so konsoma me ame boss Dr. Lolo a ono so ene odi edel ada.
Okay.
Factory ni papa na me nchia kramofo nia honorable cabo ni obi a ye chi obi a kramoni bia wo hwe ye bia ye chia na menchia wankasa wonso ne obedwafo emse na holiday omejai omo yire nem ne omo kunu nem ne obibia ba ni Ghana ne yesom no tie chi obibia na menchia me amenu asam yaye government official menim say NDC aban holiday ni omo ye adwuma adi muslim yenuano muslims holiday si 2 days why omo aza ba kunso ewo mu nso a mo san ye adwuma statutory holiday etrese ne no public agency na shoot and tie info na defo wo bi obo shoot and tie odiko di fufu da
oba Adom TV
Adom TV ko address di omo di power yi pa o anyway say abayi twa 78 million mo so mo fan kasa enti no e was say the boss mo 78 million no ye hu adwuma Dr. Samia ye me chia o won say producer no betwa akunyo se me more space na from antimi fa we so wa ba mu enti anopedi de chiame mu bibia na he abanya aba chese de konana abeto Ghana for so as bibia abefa bia e de me baka meeting obi e kasa obi e complain e de bi me fa taxi mu
complain ni mu
but answer na me fa taxi me fa de loading no e Adom station crossing sana me fa drop I'm for complaining say aban yi ba me say because more goodwill no enti no the omo person omo ye no omo ye but you see this government is being very insensitive say ye to aba mo Dr. Samia ye so mama free obo aba form so bisa ne say policy ba ko ben and omo implement ama free obo aba form omo ntimi kan chel because minia the record is that between 2022 and 2024 as an MPP be free abem na edwaman so Ghana ye fu aye wa na kakra bi pe intimi power ye niam nia ana ye fu aye na ne wa na crude na na kakra bi pe to obi anim se to ye almost inefficient edwaman so be bi ekoto fu one ba no between 2022 and 2024 na fu on crude oil on per barrel $80 and na me no ka say edwaman so atiaba from $80 to $64 per barrel crude oil no enti no obeka say wa ban atifu so a e cannot be say wa ban na ati so e the global de bia metie wo say Ghana we don't live in an island ayamai ye twa ye ho ahia enti amai na twa ye ho ahia na omo nane fu ne man ye konya bito no mo mate so wo ho a it would be disingenuous and thievery say mo want so a enti mo ban na nye say mo ban na mo ye bibia enintifu obo aba fom eto na da fu so a na ye tua no eno na yegusu tua esla musemu ba mo betwem mo ye hu dede ni ayegusu tua mo ba yi mo de 1 cedi aba beto esla ne so say ye tua 1.98 Ghana cedis 1 cedi 98 pesos on petrol o he diesel de no so no so konanim enti yegusu tua enti men ka se mo aban aye bibi na fu obo aba fom in fact mo apen so na edwaman so niamani aye de eba fom so you can take the credit but who take credit na situate it well mema ni nye se wo ba na we yi magic biama eniama bo aye den fu obo aye den aba fom but you see abai we no is doing worst of everything they blamed MPP for and for me and them yeah and I feel very very sad about it. This government they have no respect for the people of this country eniama mo say MPP for ye na air time enti mo ba mo be repeating mo ba mo ye worst of it ye di Levy by then am kan Levy a cabinet take decision obi anim say Ghana ha president wo ho kwan say on the finance minister tenase no mususu na say to be boa yan omutimi de ba e ma ne boa Ghana fo omo de ba then NDC fo akom say ekro no Levy na projected say ye benya 2 billion ne free mo afibia no mo say ekro no ye pese we are from directly from the pocket of the Ghanaian people and dum so Levy ya modi abai eye Levy a every year no project say mo benya 5.7 billion Ghana cedis so 5.7 billion Ghana any 2 billion ana 11 de man na dia we so You did betting tax by. We are me were betting taxi. Na ye nipa kakra bi pe and the betting tax. No more twa bet agency. Who say I won't twa bet? He say when twa betting tax da. Enti no more twa bet no more twa betting tax. But ni say mu kasa ho bebre ye wi Ghana for. Say 2 billion ye krono dey na 5.7 billion and there armed robbery. No wonder say mo de tax na kwa anajo. But the kwa anajo a almost sneaky through parliament the same day. You see, you did 11 call now but okasa 8 minutes now but
baby ayeko why
okasa oh Dr. Samuel now distract
baby ade kasa
eti dum so Levy amodi abe clearly no eye krono na mo pese mo de ye den mo de Ghana for mo sneaky ni in through parliament anajo the swim 2 a.m. and MPP for no crowd bread mo di wura but still no mo chemo adechin ya mama speaker agiatum with the co-president how assign ya ba bitu any problem as tax ya media be me dem hu ni say e tax ya dey purposely aba for MPP for the ordinary Ghanaians bisa adentia if say NDC for omonto fuel Dr. Sir oh no it's a fact government officials don't buy fuel
yeah government officials but say
na government officials
say NDC for na government officials
okay NDC for my party aba power omonto fuel
what adentia government officials what your mama bem
NDC officials what bem omonto fuel
that is it
NDC officials including Dr. Samiaye intending komo ye ba be di about doom so levy fuel levy Dr. Samiaye doesn't even have the moral right to talk about it because he's not paying or give free fuel from Castle or we are some money fuel allowance you see President Mahama percent taxes we can a reason rating ko drink Ghana for one ko best scrap is fuel allowances e dey government appointees near. Because you President Mahama you appointees obi a wotwa ho ahia bia no party for nia mo beji fuel Castle nia no they are not paying I am no ye be betu as a taxi into a insensitive tax me hu ne say a insensitive a chrono tax a stealing directly from the people of this country and I say na President Mahama here say or the Mahama care but when you drama tax we drama say doom so levy d levy into a drama tax clearly no this is a tax a day bar I mean agency a year there NDC for no per se omodi we are directly from the Ghanaian people what's that I'm doing
Dr. Samia what is say ashenka for kabom ko airborne training say within 5 days say aban and withdraw this 1 cedi per liter levy on betetua. How is the government handling it?
Of course. We serve at the pleasure of the people. The attorney say, on my phone in Tina, ye juma. Enti, bibi ukoso na tememu for na driver for and say a juma bianca bom ko jidi say in Chaya. They have every right to demand for better conditions. Yen, a buying of President John Dramani Mahama. We are a tolerant government. And we are ready to negotiate. We are ready to discuss with Obia. Yes, we are better adring. Almost better adring. We are finding a middle ground. There is no difficulty. We are ready to listen to all the, challenges and the difficulties are. And she say diaba. Obia any problem with that. Any ombedin komo. Now me person me expose the fallacy. Any atra mi nua kwasibo twi adane dia no pay o se han enhyehyeye bia NDC aban under John Dramani Mahama dia begu akwamu no eye worse than the MPP for eye atro of the highest order mi hu bida
mankasa
no
quote me well
o se niema ye ka se enye under MPP nyina ye ba ye worse than
that is what I said.
Your opposition, we complain about fuel, boy, me boy. Ye can't fuel. Ye fear konyamu. Na 1 gallon, 16 cedis, baby, na 14 cedis. But mobile tina konya so mo dia cost 72 Ghana cedis. Didn't we complain about it? And now ye buy ye so from 72 Ghana cedis to 53-54 Ghana cedis per gallon. Auto 10 gallon biya President Mama save you 200 Ghana cedis. It was about to a part me say 53 Ghana cedis per gallon a worse than 72 Ghana cedis. What kind of analogy and paralysis of thought is this?
enti na de kwasibo so chere say 1 gallon of fuel 53 Ghana cedis enye, but 72 Ghana cedis per gallon eye under MPP. Therefore, you should be the judge. Your opposition, you're complaining about dollar. Now you say, ye fear konyamu na $1 eye 4 cedis. But MPP better na konyamu no. Edu baby akwaya do 17 cedis. About 16 cedis. Mini akwasi ene $1 yesen. Interbank rate eye 10.2. Kwasi bocho o pa chere me say $1 10.2 no enye. But 16 Ghana cedis no eye. Ene adwadifo a na nka omo per $100,000 omo hia 16 billion no. Ene the same adwadidi per $100,000 a ohia only 10.2 billion. Kwasi bocho say 16 billion na adwadifo tempenten kwa airpay for $100,000 no. Eno no ye. But 10.2 billion no for the same $100,000 no enye. Opeso chese niema eso atete oko okadeku oko electromat oko cap farm bebia omu na say 20% 30% reduction in prices no eno no enye. But MPP dia inflation ni ko ya do 54% eno no ye. That is the analogy akosi bochi pese ochire. Your opposition we complain about taxes. When you buy a bet na so in 8 years over 40 taxes or do Ghana for so. The people of Ghana complain about 10% betting tax. They complain about e-levy. They complain about emissions levy, sanitation levy, and what have you. You buy ye share Ghana for say 10% betting tax ye chem. E-levy ye chem. 1.5% withholding tax ye chem. That was the promise. Are you telling me say sa taxes here ye eno no nye but the ebumudi go ye so no eye. We complain in opposition about wasteful expenditures of government. Abaya, etibidi $58 million go to National Cathedral to Kro. Didn't we complain about it? Yabaye, yes, I don't know. We complain about luxurious presidential jet by the president. Luxurious private jet by the president. We complain about it. And I'm no kase President Mama, on yes, sir. Ya take government budget so by 10 billion Ghana cedis. Mabain were the biggest proponent of Abain Sika Yenseno. Eti, Saubetanaka said we complained about Niema Bineba ya. Wagumentino has fallen flat. Number 2 was policy bain na diaba. Masa, sometimes we di impa na nieme koya. It is better than putting in place a policy. I have in my hand a document. And run a Joy News a publisher. Bank of Ghana records Bank of Ghana records 1.82 billion loss in gold for oil policy. This is a policy a MPP for catcher say no na ebe ma fu wire abba from na ma ya dollar na gira brane. Bank of Ghana dey over 4 billion ko shemu a yenya loss nko 1.82 billion Ghana cedis. Is this a policy? Where your policy, where the policy am wo aban mu amode ba ya e ma Ghana bo ka fu obo sa akosro. Under President Mahama. Also we cut down expenditure. Na mamu the policies are all no. And the confidence about Ghana system dim. Enti a capital flight of about 6 billion between 2022-2023 a see Ghana and NC under President Mahama. And because of gold board, before gold board, enhancing the efficiency of PMMC, and then the subsequent gold board nintino. Only the month of May, Yaton gold in $1.67 billion. And the dollars in the foreign exchange about the good Bank of Ghana. I'm a pressure and it was the national idea about form. That is a policy. Are you telling me it's a good for a gold board any policy? It is a policy and the resource idea about. All like gold for oil policy. What the other say Bank of Ghana sika and Bank of Ghana. A car mobile 2024. 9 billion. A move 4 billion because of good for oil policy. And you sit here and you chastise President Mama say only policy. What was your policy? Policy bang. And a war MPP modiaba. What did they make and say? So ya de niema aba. Yes, niema and or see any policy. But see the edge namrane. Ye policy, but dollar ya chino. Ye policy, niema bo bafom. What policy? What was your resource? Now we party day. Na then na before. Suddenly as omo join Ghana for hunsi obia. Since when did they know say lower fuel prices? Eh the papa. Since when did they know? Since when did they know? If fuel bo e former a year at the moment me anya wo hwe. And now you are crying more than they believe you in government. Lawyer Kwasiboche, answer me. Da bay na who say fuel bo ba for ma a year. And now better now so the 1 gallon from 16 cedi to 72 cedi. And you have the moral right to come and criticize an NDC regime that you buy a fuel 72 Ghana cedis per gallon. You about 53 Ghana cedis. In only 4 months. What you say? Of course, obia no obe pese obetua to. Obia no obe pese obetua taxes. Enti yen as aban no. Ensihia ye de be ye kra no enya ye de. Because the people of Ghana have reposed so much confidence in us. All the indicators are more shares so they to abano. It is getting better. And it will get better and better by the day. But Minia, if you are energy sector debts, now you 10 billion Ghana cedis. And now rising as far as 40 billion. Anka your exchange rate of 15 and 16 in par. Anka we are hoping about 80 billion. But then because of exchange rate, no. Dollar ni nya wodin cedi nya wodin dollar na ba for me no we are hovering about 40 billion who now better akonyam na odesa aka no to Ghana for so eti what is MPP solution to energy sector debt na better akonya so a omo dey do 40 billion what has been their solution how were they expecting say ensese be na omo dwe say aban ni betua sa aka no and na independent power producers every day they are on our necks. Even during your time, now omutimi do one power plant because I bind your moka. Utimi dia de ka $1.5 billion. And Tiaba, you are making significant inroads. Awo isi kasami ye 470. And sagun sayem kotojegu form. Yes, Ghana for. I was say ye tuya kanibi. Na ye nyesi kade tofango. Na ye nyesi kade tuya independent power producers ka.
Doctor, so obi same way.
Yeah, mama end just few seconds. Na ya mutoye kakra na dum so aye solve ye in 2016 na Dr. Bawumi akwatena studio Enjoy FM catch Ghana for say your mama so bi dum so ye mbona baso no. Na ye ndu sa era na ye bi dum so na free. Okay. Na ye na ye honye de entoye. Eye achopa because obi anu an ani je ye na ye betua bi. But the point is that I was say ye to at the end of the day. Enti ye there and the sre achopa ahobrasim and yesre Ghana for say baby aye do ye nyina ye say yan solve situation where next year it will be a complete blackout because of a car edi anima sikampa ye de tofango president mamaja 45 billion Ghana cedis in Esla ya no mo fantua a car wo energy sector no omo de kosi a wasi press edi kosi a wasi press ko je bosia no madi ahunu mu eno bia ni baby eskan na da fa but ene e wo se enya bibi kakra enti hihye de egu akọ e ya adesere ni atopa
Ghana ne be hia no be sao se e ka ye ka ho asemo energy sector na NDC opposition na mo ya aware what was your solution to sa e ka
your opposition now if you are in opposition alternatives are not beba you can't bring a solution you bring alternatives. We brought an alternative, say, we will revitalize and strengthen the energy sector. Okay. We will deal with energy sector debt. Okay. We will stabilize our power sector. And that is exactly what we are doing.
And once the per liter, they can be.
Definitely. Because a car and a daho. Miniakosi. So the car. How do you solve it? I was maybe so.
I mean, you see,
so the car, there would be some question. So the car. Ubetua ekwan ben so ne betua
okay see
what I say enti on say ye buy we have made significant inroads
but you see
your fuel cost enti Ghana ni you see hold on Ghana for are so reasonable say onim se enkane no na oto 1 gallon 72 cedis aban papa aban ti oto no 53 now enti uka say oh Ghana ni misrew yemfa kakran ka ho na yentimi ntua ye ka the ordinary Ghanaian is reasonable because onim say ankanya ndisi aban na nkobeto 1 gallon 72 cedis but na oto ni 53
the challenger the challenger ebi mu raise here aside the 1 cedi a year high. The energy minister now in opposition, say the inefficiencies of ECG cannot be passed on to the consumer. Say ECG losses are running into 32%, which is about 3.2 billion Ghana cedis annually.
Okay.
See, I can say. Say, Shebu are buying any guaquem as saving some of these losses. Yanti. Abami who nafem near all year to deal with this challenge. How we deal with ECG losses? How we deal with Abani Mokwedi ECG for Eka? But because it's easy to tax the Ghanaian people, they will trade at them.
ECG. Say if they work at their maximum capacity, 100% efficiency, sika umbe generate 8 billion Ghana cedis a year. Me no ka say. Fango buona ye here for the rest of the year. 13 billion. Even if ECG 100% efficient. Fango boni ain't been taught. Hold on. Efficiency in terms of a car will be adding no. Omutuya kra. Sa 8 billion penny benya. 13 billion I ye here for Fango no. Sa 8 billion into Bintua. Number 2. ECG tariffs are tariffs no.
Doctor, other than ECG overhead cost, and also chain Nisika Onya. Why is ECG spending 13 billion on fuel? Meanwhile, so yeah, a juma 100% yen BBR corrector, obey to be 8 billion.
Oh, of course, the power plant we use, and what have you, and the generation we need to get, any day you so no. It is what accounts for that 13 billion, and yet about ECG.
Yeah, but what about it?
It's about demand and supply. Ghana for power plant, power eminion in Mkania 24/7. Fuel like the year, 13 billion. You cannot blame ECG for that.
I don't know to blame ECG.
How can you blame ECG for that? So what it means is that say you can say ye bridges are gap no. Ama ECG adjust tariffs to that amount. As a Ghana for will have an increment of electricity by 40 to 45.
Is there a subsidy on electricity?
So no. So what is happening is that ECG tariffs now to STC no crime. It doesn't include Sika edito fuel.
So is there a subsidy? Say Enura, is there a subsidy?
Oh, say government has to supplement.
Government supplement.
Yes, government has to supplement. Government has to supplement. The point I'm making is that even tariffs now may know you
government supplement na be dey chira maka na do so ana.
Of course, one say MPP for Baba they did a lot of subsidies for about 2 years. Sika na was say ECG jeje no na aban ne mo kwan mo nje.
Oh yeah, aban your subsidy.
Oh yes, for about 2 years, and he can attest to that. Indeed, Kanoforiata be present one of his statements in Parliament around 2018. Okay, say aban subsidy. Eka hunti na ECG eka no mo di at the time na dasa. And that was how they manage the energy sector. And yaba ye esla ye the two da. Emma a generate about 45 billion for the previous government. Oma diskana say no ama ne sika e de to fango eniho ye de obi aka e wo se etu aka no enti se na nyame adom ye nya advantages kakra na fu obo aba form by 4 cedis per liter enkotodwe na ese de gu form Ghana for ahombrasiem as a listening government as a buyer odoneman na incrementally ye be make gains in the fuel prices in the coming weeks Ghana for mo aban kakra. Et said the aban so atete ne niam so no menu akwasi aban atete ne niam so ministers ya atete so from 124 in the first term of the MPP to 60 and I'm no ka say 56 presidential staffers ya atete so aban budget ya atete so and what have you so many things aban ne ye since March Independence Day president Mama so from 50 million Ghana cedis 150 billion cedis to only 1.5 million Ghana cedis and on the part of government aban reducing niam aban tete niam so eti adesrede ne yes Ghana for say baby a edu no baby ejina ne nye say if necessary or harsh measures are not taken the energy sector will be in total collapse what they make and say enti nkaka nkakra yebe duo Ghana ni na ohwa me nim say anya NDC
according to until see a higher tariffs, ECG will continue to run at a loss.
When you say higher tariffs,
higher tariffs to meet the 13 billion.
We are developing. I'm saying that ECG tariffs are GCC and Okrano and fuel on them. And fuel calculation and count. And the fuel calculation has been solely a burden of government. No, see, we are a developing country. No, me make a point. Okay. We are a developing country. Businesses are, some of the businesses are fragile. Oko money to your ECG bills, 60% increment, 50% increment. Ejumani begu. Enti as abayne e so o mind for say. Now on fact taxes because we better fuel intino. O de air kwa kugu tariffs so. Enu ti na aban ba ye atoabo gas plant. Yeah, we have plans of building another gas plant. Said ye be ya sika ye de tofango no. Sa sika na beba fom. Na yemfa etuobium ento Ghana for so. We are working to increase capacity of WAPCO and ENI, Sankofa and Jubilee. Said there be more gas. Na sika ye de beto fango na ba fom. Na yemfa etuo ento Ghana for so. That is the position of government. Me GDE say it is far better than the MPP. Okay. Under NDC, you are paying a gallon of fuel at 53 Ghana cedis. Okay. Under MPP, it was 72 Ghana cedis. Okay, but that's it. And Ghana, ni GDE say under NDC, no, the purchasing power abasro, the cost of living above ama nyema and kakra is getting better.
But that's Dr. Sami, government spokesperson. Where is he?
That's it. I kasa bibiri my interrupting, my interjecting. I hope so we according me the same level of respect and decorum. I'll start by tackling the energy sector and Mpensenpensenmu. Asana I'm about politics no ye so. Minya insia. You see, ye kasa ye can energy sector. In fact, I'm a energy sector ne ho kra no ma menti bibi free quickly or show publication be. Yeah. From my Joy News. Yeah. Dr. Samia for publication.
That's a report of Bank of Ghana.
Oh, a report from Bank of Ghana. Yeah. Published by Joy News. Yeah. Say BOG for recorded 1.82 billion loss on the gold for oil.
1.82 billion Ghana cedis
on record. Yeah. CCR Joy News a deleted post way. Let's put it on record. After Dr. Gideon Boakon set records in the street. Sometimes they may be, I mean, journalism, maybe a PRO school and sana me law. Sometimes with me publish it be from the source. Later, we will say misleading and that's
reports.
Oh yeah, I know there is a Bank of Ghana report. But you see, if you read the publication of the 2024 Bank of Ghana financial statement, it will move clearly. Say losses where say governor no attributed to gold for oil no. And your gold for oil until my boss I can. Name as a result of Bank of Ghana for open market operations. And my boss I can. It is in the 2024 financial statement of the Bank of Ghana. It will be the catch you say gold for oil until your boss I can. That cannot be the case. That cannot be true. And I'm sure say upon Joy News for independent verification and I'm realizing say news where a Bank of Ghana need be too Ghana was misleading. That's what I'm saying. Say we all make mistakes in life. It will be a mistake. That's why Ohuna say Ochesanya. Let's forgive the person. Let's move on. Into Dr. Samia a reference. No, yeah. Maybe he hasn't averted his mind. Say there's been clarifications and there's been corrections. Until that is not the case. Now, energy sector and Mpensenpensenmu here came. Dr. Samia mentioned say energy sector kai da ho 3.1 billion. Yes, I know. And they show Nigeria me no never be into boame. 3.1 billion. Essentially, into your day, Levy yabe say ye de ba be tuatua IPP sne ade state enterprise organizations are energy sector ni ma ye di omo kan ade. Fine. Yen go back to 2016. Na energy sector kan ye sen. Okay, na energy sector kan no. 21.9 billion cedis At that time, Dr. Samia tells us said now the exchange rate was 4 cedis. That's not kind initially. Now you divided 21.9 billion no, by the 4 cities. Send benya. That was the car mudija in the energy sector in 2016. As I move here, it is a net 3.1 billion. Every baby never, and I'll prove to you the America as I'm making. Young worker President Akufo-Addo, State of the Nation's address Okokai Parliament, and Sana Ofi Abemu. Ohe paragraph 13 me kan bibi wo ho. I don't say Parliament with the Okokai Sema hands at capture, not just a nune womb. Page 13, Patrotio. I say President Akufo-Addo speaking. I say when my administration assumed office, we inherited an energy sector legacy debt of $2.5 billion. The energy sector recovery program developed by government and World Bank projected that this debt would balloon to a staggering $12.5 billion within 5 years. If no decisive action were taken, we knew that such a scenario would cripple the sector, undermine investor confidence, and plunge the nation into darkness. Mr. Speaker, we got to work immediately through tough negotiations with independent power producers, prudent financial management, and targeted interventions. We have been able to stabilize the sector while keeping the lights on. I am pleased to report that we have kept the energy sector legacy debt at $2.5 billion. The same level we inherited, and have averted the $12.5 billion debt scenario. Despite the rising cost of energy production and global economic challenges we have unfolded during my tenure. Not just the energy sector legacy debt President Akufo-Addo now buying ever 2 in 2017, year free abemu in 2025, nebe pepe. And the Dr. Samia Yebekaze, Yedibi Bekaho, and I scan ye the true camp. It cannot be true. I have just read for you the State of the Nation's address on the core parliament. Minjini say at that time, not on Jenapo parliament to make say President Akufo-Addo statement you or the buy, and I said this particular paragraph inaccurate. Oko parliament is here, hands up capture as the true and accurate report given by the president of the land. And so we can do our politics, it's fine. But when we have the data, let us not try to twist the data, because the data will expose you. And it is not true. Say, we buy, you know, you say energy sector, energy sector, I inflate, and I say I increase your energy sector, a car, net down. It is not true. Now, one CD levy, Omodia base, Omode on petrol, 1.95 Ghana cedis on diesel, Omodia base, Omode beboa as sustaining ECG now. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that they are going to use these monies to pay the IPPs. Just on Dr. Samia Ekan. Because of take or pay contractor or more signed down in 2016. The truth of the matter is that, and today I'll be very blunt. President Akufo-Addo buy no. Or you're not being said take or pay now NDC for sign to or now and care or cover to a so you will not pay. But what did American say? So the take or pay contract now must I take or pay me actually say aban ekoto ibi akoto phone we phone na ye dey ma no o agreement na wa sign agreement clause e wo me tire say upe o umpe o say o gi phone no say wan gi o say o use phone no say won use phone no ubetua honka eno no mo dey energy sector nti president Akufo-Addo ban no ka say no take or pay ya NDC for akogi say make say mitua ye be cripple the entire economy of this country and so we not pay it is how mobile they have to find monies to pay the IPPs. It's not because it's kind of money. I'm going to the IPPs, and that's the genesis of the matter. And yes, President Akufo-Addo aboka out to one amubabetua. That is not the case. I have just read to you the State of the Nation's address of President in Parliament. And the record, in fact, Osha S&P Global, and the record is there. It's there for everybody to see. This morning, remember, Makinka in India, the record is there. Energy sector, Daho in 2014, 14.0 billion Ghana cedis. In 2016, we feel abem the court. Because what's it between 2014 and 2016, no? One another year facing doom, so it's not more signing IPPs, ni bebrebe. Internal rising call about 21.9 billion Ghana cedis are all convertible dollars more. What's about the $2.5 billion a year can one say me? And so it cannot be the case say MPP4 and I say energy sector. No. This is the fact. Now, Because say me na Dr. Samia ye say me boa. But you see even before that, and I am glad say o kase nia no. Wentimi anka say kwesi boche o say yenye policy bia na boa policy say ni dia to dwa wentimi anka bi. Na mom no ototo me ayampia e na odi me mpoa. Enya problem. But the American said, inyama who accuse the previous government for no. Momo ba bem mo ye worse. Inyama NDC for car say MPP for ban ye na tan eje basa ni ano mo ba no mo ye worse. Ebi ni den. Ebi ni galamsey. Mo ba ye galamsey aye worse. You rastos aside don for crack say national security kura was site ye galamsey. Sisi ame no ka say. You rastos aside don ko ye dmo multimedia ha. E na kan ye. And now me no ka say most family and friends time Trokanti President Akufo-Addo amemo enye. And the family and friends now do crow aban we ya etisui. The current chief of staff Nigeria Victoria Tay and you know branch manager for Bost.
It will infatuate Krebio.
Maybe
it's when that make them swing. Adom TV. Yeba is here. Etira say Ogusu Ejibre na ohwe meka say Joy News Habitat Fair. Eba so from 20th to 23rd June. Afia emu eti ye na fe ne pese yesi ye dan. Ba be suanim de ne hu ba bia beto ne papa e de esi wodan. So pese usi dan so an shebe de gu akwama msibi afamu na eti hope ownership no en shebe bebre ho. Ba ne bebre ho ma ye shede nim to be siri na afo akonya issues bebre. Anything free the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025. Ebro one aso asemi the Ebro EcoBank or the Pan-African Bank, Virtual Security Africa, Security for All, Superlock Technologies Limited. You deserve the best. DBS Industries Limited. We truly are your roof expert. The Builder Market, Bathroom Get It Right. Lest Fortune Limited, unleashing luxury with perfection, one space at a time. Clifton Homes. It's a beautiful homes wise investment. And at Interplast, we make sure water reaches you, even in space. We could also say a free EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Broadcast so from the 20th to 23rd June 2025 for Achimota Retail Center. Beka ona eyanim de ani sue hu ba bia beto ne papa ere asi odai. Wazi?
Me da say. So you do me so. Inti asema mekania ne say aban we ba ye no. Enyama boni a omo say MPP yeye nti MPP nya aban papa nti Ghana fo mpamo MPP no ombra enyama omo say MPP ye airtime nti MPP atete apansam President Akufo-Addo amamwo asay nti ye mpamo yen na NDC fo ombra no mobile they are doing worst of all those things worst galamsey a send America no omo say galamsey atete apansam under President Akufo-Addo apenso enemu amunua Erastus Asare don kwakire national security for our site omode ye galamsey e wa Ashanti region Erastus Asare don koneka nyam na meka or your interview no Joy Prime when I was in the studio was national security under President Mahama now there is a national security secretariat under presidency our site omoye galamsey e wa Ashanti region. Number 2, family and friends are buying we the bo MPP for etia say President Akufo-Addo the bush of fon kwa na ebu man ene sa family and friends no ena edokro man aban with family and friends nkwa the titire ni ena omo chief of staff. The second person I want enjoy family and friends nepa Joshua Labi. Now him said the respected Professor Joshua Labi no na John Dramani Mahama campaign manager in the election. Joshua Labi professor na board chairman for Ghana Commercial Bank. Ne yere Professor Goski Alabi board chairman for University of Mines and Technology. Neba to swear to the family. Deputy CEO for Ghana Tourism Development Corporation. Family and friends ben change say. Number 2, President Mahama right hand man and the deputy chief of staff Ura Standode. Standode the deputy chief of staff to the president. Or no also na president ne brand the Wezo TV munya mo be complain say Mahama program your baby Wezo TV and he's the right hand man to the president. Who doesn't know that Standogbe is the right hand man to the president? You should sue me. Ninia I'm a lawyer. I don't say misrule lawyer. Ninia Standogbe nia bema. Deputy director general was Senate. Your friend no Wulenam Dogbe. Wulenam Dogbe is the deputy director general for Senate. Your family and friends ni bi no. Ninia deputy chief of staff. Ni onwa ninia bio as a deputy director general Number 3, Madam Joyce Bauer. Joyce Bauer assemble na wanka wo krom ha. Madam Joyce Bauer assemble na wanka wo krom ha. About President Akufo-Addo, especially Yema Miss Emira Baumia. Joyce Bauer dia Emira Baumia be ye bia no o masemka. Nanso enne she's a beneficiary of this government as the presidential advisor, and I will not be surprised if people like Joyce Bauer, the people advising President Mahama, I'm not surprised they are too busy to the ordinary Ghanaians. So because Joyce Bauer criticized almost everything under the SWA administration. In Yama ye papa Joyce Bauer criticized our appointment in this government as a presidential advisor to the president. And again, ononkasa ni nia Joyce Bauer no. And the State Housing Corporation, maybe another appear virus. When one CEO, Joyce Bauer nia a CEO in this government. Family and friends ben the change say. Again, the General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Zavi Nigeria, and as I say, I'm managing director for Consolidated Bank of Ghana. Family and friends ben the change way. The national chairman of the NDC, Oluwaseyi Ketia, Neba, and the deputy CEO for Minerals Investment Fund, MIF. I said Ketia ba, and the deputy CEO for MIF. Now you see, family and friends nankasa ne woti mekai under President Akufo-Addo, ye more appointment cry now the Addo cry, so ye President Akufo-Addo ni. I say okay. To the extent some for NDC for the year politics access so far ye Akufo-Addo cry President Akufo-Addo wafase. Na Callistus Mahama no President Akufo-Addo then. President Mahama then. Callistus Mahama, the executive secretary to the president, Callistus Mahama. President ni obeke bia and Callistus Mahama na churo no. Or no, the suspicion is that on President Mahama, our relations be in terms of family or whether distant or close, the suspicion is that there is a relation between them. Family and friends list now. What the mama no see wadama.
Who say Callistus? Then I think someone Babon may clarify.
And then who here?
Said there's no blood relations.
So it's a family relation. Sometimes say family and friends.
There's no blood relation.
So it's a friendship relation.
That they could be so.
So it's a family and friends. That's why the topic of really a family and friends. Man, cause a family and blood. Me say family and friends. It just say a anyonkofo, any abusuafo amamuo, and omubu o my way mu no. Collins Dauda, oh yeah, member of parliament. Ono na hardboard di ometu kwa yi, ode ye nuanom krabofo ometu kwa yi. Ono da no. Collins Dauda ba Isaki Dauda. Ya appointing no as the CEO for Prestia Gold Limited. Collins Dauda ba in your appointment. So you see, this government is shrouded in tech family and friends governance. And your man must say President Akufo-Addo, airtime, and then more year. The vice president, you have the audacity and the temerity and the boldness to talk about luxurious jet. Dr. Samiaye, and now what time to represent with vice president Nana Jane, Opoku Ajimai. Your sra or medical checkup while landing over or the private jet and about the Vista and buy. An hour be $20,000. And then what's it ha? Private luxurious private jet once unfair. Unfair, I sang I'll come here, you tiny now the Dr. Samia, unfair say what private jet once. You had audacity to talk about private jet over Bomiana. What private jet was like a pagana for Acho? Obia send me message, cry say what private jet as I was like, I'm name is a war when you become canoe. They don't come across. Dr. Samia, you are being insensitive to the Ghanaian people. You are being insensitive. What's it? You private jet once. You private jet opposition to Obabumi. Private jet opposition to Obabumi. Private jet once. Let us have some respect for the Ghanaian people. But vice president ever, they're not the buy.
Yeah, vice president.
Yeah, vice president. Yeah, ma'am, me Penasempa. She's the first female vice president of this country. I respect her a lot. She's me. She's a good woman. You see, I don't have a problem so the private jet buy you. Because she deserved it. I am glad so obeba. Uncle Chata private jet cry $500,000 an hour crime any problem. Because she deserved it and she can afford it in her personal life. But in Zambia, Samia no can yet. To President Akufo-Addo so. Eko UN General Assembly. For private jet, the candidate hotel bookings. Nene danya o debu ni ababo. They say o Levisa Arabian king. Because of person Jari will be. The same jet a President Akufo-Addo and the core is Vesta jet and one another jet they buy. Bathroom na what President Akufo-Addo jet. The same crowd of Masanga Brigade no. The same bathroom no Masanga the speaker. I say bathroom ma ujari and their ball nyom.
Oh, bathroom.
E wo bathroom wo wiem. Odware gu yeso na bo na nwum wo wiem.
Ghana nwum bi.
Ah, me dem nim nwum ope. But omo update sa flight na ma say no. DVD abem, masa o kasa na meti edi. O kasa na meti edi.
Time so na so okay na bathroom na nwum.
Plane not plane. Now President Akufo-Addo dey not me. President Akufo-Addo plane na wo si President Akufo-Addo. Ti see how can so be like now what movie? Now what movie? Now what movie? Una na uchi plane na. Una na uchi plane na. Yo. Abai we buy. Omo say omo de omo fa to omba. Atu forcing at inverting. Say ono nim de obeya. Ghana be koso a enye to asem. Omo ba ya na omo tu electricity mu by 14.75% and no be a ohwe me. Then say auto prepaid as say sopa ani say NDC for atumkania mu by 14.75%. Enti enka no auto prepaid 100 cedis. Na say be 5 days as say auto be 2 days na san. If we say NDC for atu electricity bonim omo tum insure first no who out water bill 100 cedis be as say obi on e beba na akosoro aye 150 no e fi say NDC for atu insure bo by 4%. Eti na say water bill no ebeba bia na akosoro say insure mu emeye na so de bia bill no water company for the ban no mode ba abai we na aye enyo bia na aye abai we ya omo ba ya omo tu insure mu by 4%. Anso wa abai we asan to fuel mu by 1 cedi. They say what to fuel bia no kan hu say 1 cedi abeda so what to diesel bia kan hu say 1 cedi 95 pesos about beto so. Me wa abai we ba no omo say ye the draconian taxes. Levy ni draconian taxes where evil tax and no no. This government has no moral right to even criticize the SWAL administration because they are doing worse. I will say it today and I will say it tomorrow. Abai we ba almost mo be scrap COVID levy. COVID levy ni gusu wo ho. Maybe ya me ko top pen ni mitua COVID levy wo so. They say what about restaurant bia dia obeto bia no you are still paying COVID levy. Okay. As a COVID me dem anu si COVID say atwa mu ache. Adom buy o manyi COVID levy no
so restructure
abai
tax system.
Abai we buy o say double track na time mebo a say sa na kan o position double track we ye free o. They say ka dem ati so mbeso me na triple track abai we. So this government lacks the honesty to the Ghanaian people. This government is not truthful. Mosi ya ho ye yare a yenko UGMC. Mosi no public officer should travel. Mosi mampeni bi yare a mosi edi ni tukwan, minister bi yare a mosi edi ni tukwan. Then amode ye na ja na on man for na nkoko lebu na UGMC. Na momodi ni tukwan. You see, sometimes when we are in opposition, in some way we have to be very mindful because it may go back and come to hunt us. It's ya go see they are making and say abai we Levy no di aba no. It is a rob on the direct Ghanaian pocket of the ordinary Ghanaian. Unim say abai we tax no di aba no. Sir 5.7 billion no more expect afi bia Ghana 30 million. Omo mo ye adwuma nkwala mamefo papafo bia Ghana ha nye nipa 30 million. Who divide 5.7 billion no by 30 million and Ghana ni bia de ka 190 Ghana cedis because of a tour now President Muhammad Yabano. Ghana ni bia utua 190 Ghana cedis irrespective of adwuma o ye akola ye be wo na tena a be ka ye total estimated population no ho no ebe tuya sa 190 cedis ni
Adom so
enti no Ghana ni bia de ka 190 cedis. That is why we should protest against this devilish levy. We should protest against this draconian levy and the hardship and the banana and nyabuche. You see uba bemu say you lack the tolerance. Dr. Samia, the fact that you are working the time doesn't mean are you the timekeeper? Dr. Samia, are you the timekeeper? Dr. Samia, are you the timekeeper? Debbie, are you the timekeeper? Why are you trying to do Akwesi's job? Samia multimedia for we must say be ko na botra na make am say o kasa na me accord me with the same respect. 2 seconds. You should accord me with the same respect. Respect the Ghanaian people. The arrogance is too much. No, the arrogance is too much. O kasa na me ti head the arrogance is too much. What is the meaning of this? You are in government and so what? You are in government it's for time in Yaman akasa. You don't respect opposition views. You don't have the tolerance to listen to divergent views. Have the patience and go and tell President Muhammad that. Go and tell President Muhammad that Ghanaians are not happy with the 1 city levy of food. Go and tell President Muhammad that Ghanaians are not happy with the Galamsey. Go and tell President Muhammad that Ghanaians are not happy with the private jet manager.
Dr. Ebo.
Dunia Akwesi.
Masa, Adom TV.
Obekas make us an 11 times. 11 times. I get you out.
Adom TV na eteno. Adom TV na eteno.
Na Obi akase kokwase ba TV na eteno.
Masa sebe na akasa ba ha to TV so sa.
Dem na akasa Adom TV na.
Masa ama mo hwe no. Omo ye mpanyimfo. Ebi mu fiti hwe program na kwase yen wo. Etu betina TV so abra wase no mame kasa. O betina TV so
kasa mimi team trofo. It's don't me alaya.
The way
your integrity.
The way na fine.
Abaye wontia I obliged to not to submit to you.
Doctor Eko.
Omo mo hwe no en chese mpanyimfo a omo buye. Entu betina platform we say fa obuo ni ni dem na wa betina TV so na wo ni obi na o do sabe wo obi ani masa brewase enye fe opposition enye sa na etena no eya ho brase any good submissions enu bi na ye ya ene nyame adom Ghana fo ato abon ya betina. It is a fact say ye fi abamu in 2016 na Ghana energy sector debt 10 billion Ghana cedis. Mame kasa Ghana cedis. And then, if not because of exchange rate about 10 and only a NDC abain at the papa ya nanka energy sector that was 70 billion ECG was 68 billion amamu boni intire de yadu baby awe eka abeda so it you cannot explain away.
It is not 10 billion.
Big mame kasa because of energy sector debt intire president amate energy sector levies act obi kwidi to wo MPP aban se eka ye de wo energy sector no ma minja sikanto wo edidida na ye nya edidi prekum akwasi MPP aban betena so no mde se sika no kosi press omudi kosi awa ana omudi gi loan no mudiye hwe KPM di kire ye se esla sika president mama eja to wo maye no eno no omudi tu a SML company bi kawo company na nkasa agi akotum agi atomo TV so se omo ni sekan omu ni aba omo sanka omo na yanka enso abaya mo musika so omo ndi fa waso omo srim adwuma aban so omo nya no omo aso omo ntimi nye ba aban etu omo ka. That was how you manage ESLA. At a point we even had some of the pension funds. That was how you mismanage ESLA. Sika o predecessor jatu homa o say fabo energy sector ho bra anka o manage ESLA yi a anka na ye ni baby agina anka president mama so did the wasa and send to your company for car anka ye nyina baby agina. That was your legacy. What was your solution to do so? Ghana phone call your more timetable. Okay. That was how you manage Genesis. Mr. Mameka said, "Yeah, me do baby."
No, keep it time. Hey,
Osi o. No, Mameka. Osi o.
Exception to that.
What is this? Osi o.
No, what is this? What is this?
1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute. Say they will be able to say you have been unfair to me. You have been unfair to me. Where COVID-19 levy. Who MPP makotena IMF and the COVID-19 levy akoshe IMF conditionalities.
It's not true.
Mameka.
It's not true.
You are so wicked that a pandemic sika waji because of pandemic. What akoshe IMF conditionalities.
IMF conditionality yet me any COVID levy.
Yes, in September, in November, there will be a review. Our government is seeking to remove that tax and totally overhaul the VAT system. That is why we are where we are today. Number 3 also, NDCA take or pay contract. Now, ENI ni spring for contracts was not a take or pay.
But I say, Doctor,
it is because of take or pay. What I say, oh, family and friends, oh, Dr. Kalisto. Dr. Kalisto so no fi salaga. President Mama, if you ball bambo, also me and your phone. Also me abusia phone.
Nena down for no.
Dr. Kalisto no. Why lecturer here university? MP before general secretary. Now your friend say general secretary say just if you book code. No, Dr. Kalisto students. Oh. Tech.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying say
what's that dear free to say? I'm not saying say you are talking about family and friends.
Master Samia, why you holding my hand?
Master, Prof. Alan,
why you holding my hand?
Master, Prof. Alan,
why do you want to
abuse me? Authority.
Dr. Samia, Dr. Samia.
President Kufuor was the appointing authority.
Dr. Samia.
President Kufuor was the appointing authority.
Dr. Samia was on
Dr. Samia. Appointing you can say Asante Bedeto. Appointing abusuafo ni na.
Dr. Samia.
Professor Joshua Levy or appointing authority. It is abusuafo say any and focus on na be party ejuma. No muna NDC for no munya appointment.
Intended the son.
No. O de to President Kufuor ono no said that hand taking abusuafo no munya part of campaign. And you are your family.
Dr. Samia.
And you are talking about it. Who can say presidential jet? Tama MPP for catcher say presidential jet no. President Kufuor to me say now I was some kind the empowerment. That time now the Ghana presidential jet I'm a Liberia president. And net Ghana presidential jet. It's mechanic.
Media question.
How can you use a
mechanic? Asante eno ebedi eshia.
Ya
make the moral right there. NDC doesn't have the moral right to talk about anything.